I was the gutter ball. It was April 2011, and we went bowling for my twin boy's 4th birthday. I had no idea why I just fell down on the first throw. A month later, I was walking around Salt Lake City at a medical conference, and I noticed my left foot flopping on the pavement. A few weeks later I realized my muscles all over my body were twitching, constantly. I knew what I had. It was the darkest 2 months of my life until I told my wife, Andrea, that I thought I had ALS. The following Monday, I called a colleague and told him I had foot drop and fasciculations, and he said to come to his office after work. I cried when his reflex hammer showed hyperreflexia, and his EMG suggested ALS. By Friday, the diagnosis was confirmed. An ALS diagnosis in 5 days is rare. Denial was never an issue, because it was my idea to start. 2 months later, I saw Dr. Elliott, who just spoke, for diagnostic confirmation. I was probably the first person ever who was disappointed that I couldn't tell my wife I had syphilis. It was in his office that I had my first contact with the ALS Association. Who were these people who were offering me free loaner equipment? Dr. Elliott also connected me to the NP001 clinical trial. It was the final day of my first set of infusions, which I later found out were placebo, that I took this photo. I felt the hope that was proudly displayed on my shirt. The theme for this event is, Together, we are hope, courage, love. I am going to use the rest of my time talking about the first one, hope, how I've experienced hope in my 12 years living with ALS, and what the ALS Association is doing to foster hope in all those living with ALS. The first thing that gives me hope is that there has never been a better time to have ALS. When I was diagnosed, there was just one drug, Riluzole, approved, and it was shown to help patients live about 3 months longer. Then the Ice Bucket Challenge happened, and suddenly people knew what ALS was, and the Ice Bucket funding that supported basic research into the causes and genetics of ALS, biomarkers, and new therapeutics, is now coming to fruition. In 2017, a new drug, Radicava, was approved as an IV infusion, and last year it came out in oral form, which is easier to administer. In September 2022, a third drug, Relyvrio, was approved. But access is still a problem. Even with insurance, the oral Radicava still would have cost me over $1,000 per month. I was recently accepted into a copay assistance program through the HealthWell Foundation, and I just started Radicava this month. Just 3 weeks ago, tofersen, a medication for people with a specific mutation of the SOD1 gene, a mutation that can cause a familial form of ALS, was just approved by the FDA. A trial is planned to test tofersen on people with the mutation but no symptoms to see if it can prevent or delay ALS. These medical advancements give me hope. Technology also keeps my hope alive. I really respect Steve Gleason and how he has lived large with ALS and promoted technologic advancements through the Team Gleason Foundation. He has said, "Technology is my cure. I often tell people that I can do anything on my eye gaze computer that you can on your computer. It allows me to communicate, teach homeschool, stay connected to friends and family, pay bills, read books, and listen to podcasts. With an interface called Ability Drive, I can adjust my power chariot, and have driven nearly 100 miles with just my eyes. My family enjoys watching people being fascinated as I drive past them. I couldn't imagine living with ALS without technology. The future of the ALS Association also gives me hope. I've been on the Evergreen Chapter Board of Directors and Care Services Committee for many years. It's now the Leadership Council after unification of all the chapters under the national organization. As Ms. Ballas described, I am pleased that the organization wants to ensure that care is not dependent on zip code. 12 years ago, I had to drive 11 hours from Montana to see Dr. Elliott at the nearest multidisciplinary clinic. After an ALS clinic opened in Spokane, it was 4 hours. Now the association is working to partner with and open 1 or 2 clinics in Montana. They are also working to expand access to the Loan Locker program. Through the years, I've received things as small as a tool to help me button my pants, to larger things including a 4-wheel walker and a shower chair. Finally, the association has a technology consultant who I have heard has been extremely helpful for those who are not as familiar with tech as I am. So, with research kicking out new drugs, and cool technology helping people with ALS live with purpose, meaning, and connection, there truly has never been a better time to have ALS. All of you give me hope, too. Your gifts bolster the work of the ALS Association by supporting research, multidisciplinary clinics, advocacy, and care services, and the association is dedicated to making ALS a livable disease, not a death sentence, regardless of zip code. I have never wanted people to say that I am battling ALS, for that implies winners and losers. Instead, I want people to see how I live with ALS and live well. Hope starts here, with you. Together, we are hope, courage, and love. Thank you.